We're back. This is Attorney Vincent Davis and Cynthia Becker. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. Hey, Cynthia, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to post a digital copy of my CPS book on the horror stories for me. And
Yes, I'll do that right now.
And all of the listeners can go there and get a free copy of my book. Now, it was written for parents and relatives here in California. I do assume that, laws throughout the states are similar, but they're not exact. And before you start talking law or making strategy, if you're outside the state of California, you need to talk to an attorney in your state. All right? Let's take another call right now from Christina from Los Angeles. Christina, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Both.
Go for it.
I have a CPS case for general neglect. We've already been to the first hearing, and I got to keep all the kids.
Great.
Most of it was because they're saying that I hit the kids, that I leave my kids with their older siblings babysit, that my daughter was failing school, and my daughter is able with bipolar, so she, when the quarantine thing happened, everything went freaking crazy. The school shut down, so of course I have 4 kids in school at that time, and I'm setting up their laptops and everything. And then I have the 3 little ones that were in daycare, not in daycare no more, so of course they're running around the house screaming their heads off. It just didn't go well. My older daughter moved out, my friend Gina and my boyfriend moved in, and everything that was stated to the CPS was just so false. I tried to explain everything to them, and it just does. I don't know if people are listening. I really don't. And I'm doing I'm doing the recommended classes, even though they're only recommended at the time. I'm pretty much done with everything they're asking, but now we're about to go back to court, and they're trying to recommend family preservation, which I think is ridiculous when I already have the services, almost basically the same services that I'm already doing, but they want me to do it through them. And my son was with his dad when all this CPS thing happened, and I have full custody. And then when the CPS thing happened, the judge said remain in my custody. But then once he's supposed to fly back, CPS wants to file a motion for him to stay with his dad, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. When there's the CPS worker had said there was nothing wrong. Like, she couldn't understand what was going on. Like, why are they doing this? She kept saying it was the other department. But yet, she's the one that enforces the orders of that department. But yet, she doesn't see anything wrong. And then they removed my son out of my custody and gave him to his father. And now he's back there. And then we didn't even go to court yet. And then we went to court, and everything that they didn't even have the father testify, only me and my son. My son didn't state any of the allegations they had got him to state the third time they interviewed him. The first 2 times, nothing. No, I don't hit them, I fed them, I took care of them, everything. The third time when they interviewed him is all kinds of crap. And I was like, that's his dad coercing him, because he knew what the allegations were from the beginning. So he's talking to him and telling him what to say so he could get custody of him. And the whole time we were sitting there in court, he didn't say any of the allegations. He didn't say they asked him if he was afraid of me, and they said no. He said no. And of course, they automatically say, "Well, do you want to live with your father?" And of course, we automatically objected because they're coercing him to say that. They didn't even put my mother in there, and they still gave him to his dad because they felt that he was afraid. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like,
Well,
Like,
Christina, what is your question for me?
okay, so the dad already has custody of Skylar. My question is, do I keep fighting for my son, or do I take care of my other children and focus on them, and then try to go after custody of my son after CPS closes their case and just take it back to family court and pray that they give me my son back? Or, because I have a trial coming up.
Well, wait a minute. Have you talked to your attorney about this?
Yes.
And what does she or he suggest?
She suggests that I try to plead out, and I don't want to because I never want to ever hit my kids. I'm very against that personally. I grew up, got hit. I personally do not hit my kids. And my daughter is really mad at me. She's 15 right now, and she's mad because I take away her phone. I ground her because she's always late on curfew, or she's talking to her 25-year-old boyfriend, which nobody seems to give a crap about because he's overseas. And he's like planning this trip to take her away from me once she turns 18. And I'm like, he's 25 and nobody seems to care. And I can't stop her when she turns 18, I guess. But she's mad at me, and she threatens me all the time. She actually just threatened me like 2 days ago because I got her into rehab, and just because she's uncontrollable. And she threatened me. She's like, in 2 weeks, your life is going to be a living hell. And I'm just like, great. How am I supposed to fight these allegations when my kid is so mad at me, and all because of her boyfriend, and I don't want her talking to that guy. I just don't know what to do anymore.
Right. It seems like a complicated situation, and what's making it more complicated is the relationship between you and the children and the dad. Might I humbly suggest that you speak to your attorney and perhaps an individual counselor to get a hold on, what is the best thing for you to do in this particular situation. I mean, I'm flattered.
Talk to everybody.
I'm flattered that you.
The counselor knew about the 25 boyfriend. Like before she was in therapy. Now she was in therapy in 2009, 2020. They were already talking, and I told the therapist then. I told the CPS worker then, and they literally don't care because he's not in the United States.
Well, Christina.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Hold on, Christina. I'm flattered that you asked me my opinion about what you should do. The problem is that I don't know enough information. I mean, I think we've been talking about 7 minutes. I mean, there's a lot going on in your case. If you want me to review the documents, the minute orders, the evidence, and you tell me more about this story, I'd be, happy to listen. Just call my office tomorrow and make an appointment to speak with me or meet with me. It's 888-888-6582, 888-888-6582. And perhaps, we can do a three-way conversation with Cynthia Becker and myself and, give you some ideas. Was there someone else on the line?
No, it's me, but I do want to do that.
Vince, I was going to add something to her. I forgot your name. I apologize. Was it Crystal?
Christina.
Christina?
Mm-hmm.
Is she there still?
I think she may be, yes.
Okay. I wanted to tell you, I know it's very difficult in the moment, but the relationship between you and your kids will heal. And I know that they're angry, but they're being fed things by other people. And you have to kind of push that aside and, while you're fighting for them, because it will eventually heal. When my mother took my kids, she referred to me as their sister instead of their mother, and she told my children that she was their mother. So it was very confusing for them. So when they came home, they had no respect for me. We didn't have that mother-daughter, mother-son relationship. But when we worked on it, it all fell right back into place.
Christina, thank you for calling. Keep listening. Give us an update in a couple of weeks. And don't forget, call me if you want to have a conversation with Cynthia and I off the air. Okay, we're going to take another break. This has been The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be right back with Cynthia Becker and more calls.